how long have you been tutoring and where do you see yourself 5 years down the line?
I have been teaching for the last 3 years. For the previous 3 years, I was teaching. First year, I taught at Lions Calcutta, and the last 2 years, I have taught at Ryan International, Yelahanka, Bangalore. And I have done private tutoring for 2 years. And 5 years down the line, I would see myself as a teacher only, teaching my dear students and contributing a lot towards the art of teaching.
Do you think students nowadays tend to overlook English as a subject due to an increased focus on science subjects?
To some extent, it is very, very true. Children are sometimes too much overloaded with the projects of science. Now, if we think about our days, we were not given so much of projects. We started projects from class 9 onwards, but today, if we see the scenario, it's totally different, because we find that today, if we visit any school, we'll find that a child from class 2 or class 3 onwards have already started with the what project. They're doing so many of projects, and sometimes it becomes too much overloaded. But it also at the same time, I will also agree that it depends upon the teacher how he or she makes a subject, English subject, very, very interesting. Because in English story, we get stories, we get poems, which we can relate to our daily life, where children can share their experience, where children learn something from the characters. I experience of teaching that when I used to teach last year, I used to find children that, ma'am, we have got very tired after the two periods of maths class, 2 periods of chemistry class, and now when we are coming to English, and we can tell some stories, we can hear some stories. So it is a pleasant getaway from this hectic, from this very exaggerating chemical equation, everything. So I think they find the subject at that time very interesting. So I really think that it depends a lot upon the English teacher, how he or she makes the subject interesting and convincing.
My next question would be like, say suppose someone takes up English as their higher education subject. So what kind of job prospects are there after for an English graduate?
For an English graduate, there are various job prospects, and today in this global world, we require a very, very good proficiency in English. If after a person he graduates in English, he can get a job in school, in colleges, in offices. Today, even when you're appearing for any government exam, you need to answer in English. So you need to have a good proficiency in English. And at that same time today, if I talk about the private sector, in the corporate sector, in the IT sector, you need to have a very, very good proficiency in English. You need to have a good grasp in communicating English. And for example, you are sitting in front of me, having a very good proficiency in English and asking me so beautiful questions.
Thank you so much. So my next question is, if you can describe a few techniques that you have adopted while teaching your students and keeping them involved and grasped in the subject.
Suppose when I was teaching anyone some short story or a drama, I'll tell the child to describe the character. Suppose if I'm going for lower classes, let me take for class 6 and 7, then they have more of short stories. They have the textbook, they have their... So after I teach one story, after teaching for 3 or 4 classes, the 5th class I will ask the child that I'll divide my class into groups, and I'll ask each group to come and perform in front of the class. And when I'm dividing the group, at that time I make it sure that in each group there are all category of students. It will be good, excellent, average, below average, so that everybody gets the chance and opportunity to come and perform in front of the class. And we know it that everybody of us wants to do something, wants to participate. I don't want any passive learner in my class. I want everybody to be actively involved in the classroom. And what happens when a child is performing any role? Maybe the role might be for 3 or 4 minutes, but that role the child has been able to understand. And when he is able to understand, at that time only he will be able to depict or portray that character. Then I do one thing. After teaching any short story, I'll make it sure that let the child describe that character. Whatever he or she has felt, describing the character. For that I give him a homework. That one day I give them a homework to think about the character. And because many times in exams also we have that elucidate the character in your own words or describe the character in your own words. So by that I am making the child prepared also, and I am also improving their speaking skill. They are able to speak in front of the class. Then another thing I do is short story writing, because in ICSE Board we are having the story writing thing. So first, when I'm giving this, I'm making the child understand that how to write a short story. For that, we also give one example, that we give one example how to write a short story. And then after that, I give a 2 days break where a child will write the story by himself or herself. And on that third day, the child will come and read the story in front of the class, whereas all the students of the class will listen to him. And my role as a teacher is I go to the back benches and I allow the children to be a teacher at that time, so that they are able to understand. And I give the children this power that you only give the marks to your friend. And when they are giving the marks, that time they are alternative. Sorry, this is wrong. That time they are attentive. They listen to their friends, they understand the error, and when they are correcting the error, at the same time they are also able to rectify their own error. So that will, to some extent, improve their skill of writing also.
True. So, like, you must be having a lot of success stories in your teaching bag. So, if you could share some with us.
One thing is very common factor which I will tell is the spelling error. Last year when I used to teach, one day fixed for the children that one Friday or any other day will be a day when I will take a spelling test in the class. When I am conducting a spelling test, it reduces the spelling error. Now what happens in board exams, especially for ICSE Board, because I have studied in ICSE Board, I have taught in ICSE Board, so I'm very confident about this board. What happened that when in this board you do too much of spelling error, it reduces a lot of marks. Actually, the rule is we deduct half marks for each spelling. So when the spelling problem is reduced, children are able to increase their marks. I remember last year I taught one student. He told me, ma'am, this time I got plus 10 marks. Since whatever I used to get the previous term, this time plus 10, because I think hardly 1 or 2 spelling error was there in the entire paper. But before, I used to do too much of spelling mistakes. At least 20 to 25 spelling error you will get in my paper. Second thing is a very big achievement for me is to make Shakespeare interesting to my children. Because I remember many children used to ask me, ma'am, why am I reading this Shakespeare? This was written 500 years back, old English, you don't find that this story. It's very boring, ma'am. Why are we reading Shakespeare? And so then that time I explained to the children what is the importance of why are we reading Shakespeare. Because I told them today you find entertainment in the form of going to IMAX or Premiere. But that time for the people, entertainment was in the form of Rose or Globe Theatre. People used to, because after a hectic schedule, people want to go and watch something entertainment. That was, Shakespeare was providing entertainment to the people. And also one thing, remember that female characters were performed by the men. So they told men by men. That time they slowly getting involved in Shakespeare. And then I must tell that characters of Shylock or whatever this character of Antonio, I used to explain them, I used to tell them, and then I used to tell them what you think about this character. They used to tell me, and sometimes they used to be a debate in my class. So at that time I understood that the children had found this drama very interesting. And after 6 months, those children who used to ask me, why are you reading Shakespeare? After 6 months, they are telling me, we want to perform. So I think they have been able to understand the drama, and that is why they want to read it. So I think that is very, very important.
So my last question. So how has my private tutor helped you with your tutoring experience?
Private tutor has given me an opportunity to teach the children, to teach the kids. And it is a bridge. My private tutor has been a bridge for me between myself and my students. So I think I hope for the children to come and I'll get the opportunity to teach them and share my experience and even hear some experiences from their side also.